So, Zaz, tell me what happened last time.
Alright. So, last time... Let me look here. Yes, I believe it was Ross did meet Ian to discuss the incident that happened. You know, the expert who had the JFK head exploded like that, and Ian indicated that he was gonna stop. And
Zaz, stop for a second. Is he roboting for everyone else?
Okay, he's also roboting for a bit. I'm not sure if it's my internet.
Yeah, pretty badly. Yeah. We killed him.
Reset his things?
Alright, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better
Yep.
now.
Okay, so Ross met with Ian to talk about the guy who died in his office. Ian pretty much indicated that he was not going to investigate it. And Ross, well, there was not much left to do to say at that point. Apartment that Rowdy had told Taylor about was empty, and some of Julie's Meadow still like looking for the fall guy, but
You're roboting again.
okay, then we're just gonna have to push through it then. Or someone else is gonna have to do the recap.
Yeah, it's coming better now. It's weird. It's better now. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's called. I'm just gonna push through it then. I'm not gonna. After that, James is visited by Adam, who wanted to know about his encounter with Alexandria. You know, Adam thinks that her pact had her deal with this entity has had a pretty profound impact on her personality, and they discussed about these entities and ended up discussing a bit about Mary, the one that had been responsible for the previous murders in particular. Ultimately, Adam decided that he's thinking about opening up a clinic, and James did offer his church as a sort of neutral ground, both for the clinic and possibly for the gang war that's going to start. After that, Adam did stop to visit Taylor. They talked about a few things. They talked about the gang war that's going to start. They talked about James's idea of establishing neutral grounds, areas that won't be hit, and they talked about Alaric and talked about what exactly we think about his plans for the future. And in response to that, Taylor did actually set up a meeting with Alaric at the Belmont, and so they touched base with him. And ultimately, he ended up agreeing with Alaric, kind of the base philosophy due to his past in the army, and he did warn Alaric about James meeting with Alexandria, and also about telling Briggs and Smith about it, sort of. While this was happening, Ian decided that actually he is going to investigate more. He did try to decipher the symbols on his own. He ended up obsessing over it, neglecting his job, neglecting other things. Eventually, a voice reached out to him and offered him help, told him that he needs to find something greater to believe in, and eventually was just given an address to go to, which did turn out to be the James's church. Told to find the true believer. He did contact Agent Ross, told him a bit about the situation, but it left out the fact that he was being contacted by this entity. Fortunately, when Ian did go to the church, he just ended up sitting there and sitting at a clock for 3 hours. And then he left. After the meeting between the soon-to-be war and crime family, at the meeting, maybe someone surprisingly, I was actually trying to agree, and ultimately went well. Decided that like schools, James Church, a few other places, mentioned Ian. Like James didn't know who Ian was, but Taylor was, and really took Ian after a bit know that it's not all. Go meet with him, and to turn his notes, to ignore it, to walk away. While driving back home, Taylor did tell Ian about Alara. Ultimately decided, after dropping Ian off, to go to the Mont to talk to Alara, see if the Alara would want to meet with this curious individual who has, well, had interesting things happen to him.
Yeah, I think that was it, right?
That was pretty much the session, yeah.
So, as time move on, the holiday seasons pass, and it's sort of, well, the outburst of violence soon sparks on the streets as the latter half of January is plagued with many shootings across many of the New York districts. Hospitals quickly get overwhelmed. Police will often get caught in the crossfire, and sometimes flat out just avoid sort of responding to certain emergencies. It's quite a large mess. Although it will quickly become apparent to the news as well that while the violence in the streets does escalate drastically, there is no hospitals get hit, no churches or other schools get caught in the crossfires. But, well, all of these places are interconnected by dangerous routes for people to go back and forth. And as January draws to a close, people are terrified, scared. It's been a bloody few weeks. Ian, it's during this time that, well, wake up the late hours of the night. Your job has kept you quite busy, as there's plenty of deaths that need to be cataloged now, so you have a lot of work. Right now, midnight at the clock, and, well, there's a intense knocking at your door.
Yeah, he'll look through the peephole to see who it is, if he recognizes the person.
Don't recognize the man.
He will kind of sheepishly open.
And speaks with a bit of an accent. Are you Mr. Bright?
Yes, who are you?
I'm here to help you out with your head issue. Follow me, sir.
Um, are you the associate that are?
Yeah, I work
No,
for them now. Come the fuck on, I don't have all night.
So you'll follow the man.
As gonna lead you downstairs, get into his car, and he'll drive you. The nighttime streets of New York. Then like turns up the radio a bit as the latest shootings comes in. Just kind of say, it ain't right, you know. Much fucking blood. And for what? Vassals couldn't get along.
It's a pretty shitty world we do live in. At least these ones are a bit more civil. At least they don't attack hospitals.
Yeah. That's what makes you sleep better at night. I guess you'll see the fucking research centers. Better to keep up the optimism.
So, that's it. Well, I suppose we'll have to see once we get there.
Yeah, as you'll be taken the more outskirts areas of the city, and eventually you'll led it into this large warehouse, where you see a bunch of like clearly armed guards going around, but give you any trouble. Is he'll kind of lead. It's kind of like a small underground laboratory, as this place seems to have a large basement cleared out that looks a bit nicer, but well, clearly still in the works. As you'll see this woman approach you. She looks slightly off, a bit paler. Her hair kind of peach white. Her eyes a bit too blue. But she does greet you with a smile nonetheless. So, must be Mr. Bright. Please follow me.
Your name would be? I expected to mention. Are you the one working with this Mr. Gray?
Yes, he is my associate. Name is Faith, and well, I'll be the one helping you out with your, well, supernatural problems.
Okay, so you'll not long and look around. I see about a recent facility. Yeah.
I think it's coming along nicely. Won't impede our research, though. After all, your problem requires more, well, less specialized tools and more creative approach.
I do suppose I don't think you have a ghost radar, sadly.
Well, suppose that's true. But you'd be surprised on how resourceful I can be. She'll kind of like welcome you in this office space she has. Sit you down. Coffee. It's gonna be a long night.
I wouldn't mind it.
Where's your cup? She'll say. So tell me, I have been given the broad strokes. Voice in your head. Saw the weird symbols. Correct? Tried to tell you to find something.
Yes, a true believer. Well, it's actually it's the. Well, actually, it was initially was to find a purpose. Well, let me. I'm not sure how much have you been told, or how much have you read. Do I need to reiterate the entire story, maybe to add more clarity, because the spirit did not mention many details to me either.
Just figure it out as we go.
Yeah, he will recap everything that basically the voice, the total of 20 voice lines he got from the voice to her.
Does seem to want you to understand the symbols. So I'll be frank. Right now, I think we're gonna give it what it wants.
He's kind of slightly taken aback by that. I see. Well, ignoring maybe working with the potential mystery voice, sadly, I don't know exactly sure what it wants.
I don't know either, but I am quite curious to find out. Unfortunately, there is no don't have too many established precedents to determine whether these things lie, don't lie, have some vast agendas, or are just rather straightforward creatures. Luckily, you are the one to help us out. Patient zero, as they say.
I see, Miss Faith.
Don't worry. We've taken the liberty to ensure that you are given medical leave. All of your expenses will be paid and accounted for, and be able to sit here under observation, ensure that nothing bad happens. You can monitor the situation closely, check for any developments, and intervene if necessary.
Very well then, I suppose it's I guess we have to see what it wants.
I know what it wants. The question is, I want to know why.
Well, it called me a curious mind, so my only need would be to work with those mysterious symbols again. Clearly, you want me to understand them. There must be a way.
That still doesn't answer the why, Mr. Bright. Which is, in fact, the most important question.
Well, sadly, I must admit I'm also a bit stumped on the why.
Well, that's why everyone's stumped. That's the whole point. Do you have any questions, though?
from what I understood. My question would be more general about these things in general. Like, are these a recent development? Were these spirits older?
What part of there is no data did not come through?
Ah, I see.
Such statements require actual concrete data, which does not exist. So, when I called you patient zero, I was quite literal.
Well, then in that case, I don't think you have answers to the most questions, as I'm not exactly sure what. Because you probably also don't have them.
Then we shall get started. I will take you to your workroom now. We shall be performing a series of physical tests to, well, let's just say test a few theories I have. Right now, there is no known correlation between your physical state and the voice in your head. But I want to make sure that that is confirmed. You will be subjected to a series of potent psychiatric drugs. See if it has any impact on, well, you saw it yourself, it was not very talkative, so I want to see if that is a case of, well, compared to some of the others I've heard about, you are much more mentally of sound mind. So I want to see if there's any correlation there. Then, if nothing really changes on that front, after a short recovery period, you will be provided all the tools and aid we can to ensure that you are able to decipher those symbols. Any family or friends that you wish to visit you in this time? I need to make certain clearances.
No, my family, we don't get on too well.
Makes this much simpler. She stands up and lead you into a separate room. It's a much more looks like a very so it's painted white. There is a bunch of fluorescent white lights as well. There's a bed on one of the corners and a small nightstand. As he's gonna hand you a bunch of pills. Take these and well, you won't exactly be sleeping, but suppose do not worry, be just on the other side of the door.
Listen, he'll kind of nervously nod, but he's too curious to find out about. Listen, maybe psychedelics will help. It's not the most comfortable with the idea of to take some random psychedelics.
Yeah. As you take the pills and kind of like lie in the bed as the room didn't really shut the lights off, so kind of close your eyes. You can feel like, well, a sort of lightheadedness that passes you as you're not sure how long it passes, but eventually you do hear a voice as you like open your eyes and you glance around and there's no one in the room. The voice is out, says, "They will kill you here, you do realize that. You're nothing but lab rat to... They're not truly interested in helping you out. They want your knowledge, want knowledge you can provide for them. Then you will be a loose end to be disposed of."
The setup and the decor did not exactly inspire me with great confidence. I hope that I wasn't sure if Mr. Reed wasn't the type to work with shady organizations like whatever this is.
You think your detective friend knows what's going down here?
True. Might not have been told the entire story, but at the very least, this pill seemed to work on.
Not really. Just that this sort of communication requires a lot of effort from my part.
Ah, I see. So you don't have much energy to to share many words.
I must warn you, leave this place. You want to live, not give. What they want, your usefulness ends.
Well, unfortunately, I think we can, I suppose, try to feed them slow bit by bit, but sadly I'm not a most athletic individual, and I think
There is a way you can get out without giving them all they want. I can teach you a ritual to allow you to escape, bend space.
that sounds incredibly useful. But before that, if it doesn't take too much energy of you, why exactly are you doing this? Curiosity, you have plans? The what and who is a bit of a complicated question, but
My aim is to both collect and enlarge shared knowledge I have access to. The reason I approached you, because you've studied symbols, you know, you have the means. Don't understand them, but that is not required for the more basic applications. I will show you the symbols you need to draw. Need to request something from them. Small animal have to kill in order to activate this thing.
I do hope that knowledge. I hope that knowledge doesn't just involve the similar blood butchery as I've seen in the various cases.
Blood
not sure
is
if you-
blood powers. The more simplistic rituals. I don't think you have any other power source at your disposal.
I don't. Does most of your knowledge includes or go in that direction?
My
Cool.
knowledge is vast. It's a meaningless question. Now you must do as I say if you wish to live. I cannot be with you much longer. As you feel like this sort of image flash in your head, as you see several symbols similar to the ones you saw, but arranged in a different pattern, in a small circular pattern, as it's seemingly like quite vividly burned into your mind.
I see. I'm not sure if they told about it did anything. I'm not sure if this is like a LSD or something. I'm not sure what exactly he took. If he still isn't.
You have no idea what you took.
Okay, but he doesn't feel anything, right?
You feel a bit dizzy.
Most doesn't. Okay. Alright, let me look at my speed roll. 3 dice, not the worst.
What?
That's this, yeah. See, he will. Okay, listen. He'll go knock on the door, I suppose, or like open it.
Yeah, you'll see there's a man on the other side that's kind of like sitting and says, everything all right, sir?
Yes. Quite so. I want to make a request with the head scientist, perhaps regarding the experiment.
He nods.
I want to request a small animal.
All right. What for, if you don't mind me asking, sir?
A ritual in order to better communicate with it, since apparently it has trouble making contact.
Kind of nod. Very well. Give us hours. Gonna like radio someone. Go fetch some dogs from the local animal shelter. As while you're waiting, and the door will open and see the good doctor walk in, a bit of a smile, and says, "That was certainly fast." Mind telling me what happened?
Yes, the voice that came back around. I asked that why it didn't talk to me before. I didn't share more details, and it did reveal that it had trouble. Apparently, for it was quite troublesome or quite exhaustive for it to make contact with me. But it did offer a ritual in order to ease that. I did ask it why specifically was blood, but apparently it was the most readily available source of power, or the most basic, as it said.
Interesting. Anything else?
No, I do believe that was it. I didn't know she just asked the question of why exactly I was chosen, and just reiterated that because I do have the means, thanks to me investigating these symbols, and it wants to share knowledge.
Frank with you, that's a good point. Not many have done as much research. The ritual sites that you did. The only other expert is, I believe, dead. Sure they will be able to deliver the animals soon. Presume you won't mind me being here while you do conduct this ritual of yours.
No, of course not.
Wonderful. Splendid. Shaq keeps writing on notepad. Eventually, about an hour or so passes, and well, they'll walk in a couple of mangy-looking dogs. Gonna hand you a couple of bladed instruments. I eagerly await to see you in action.
As he'll try to steal himself because he never killed anything before. He's a bit more used to it, but still, he never killed anything alive.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, he'll take a few deep breaths beforehand. Aim. Nerves crit. I'll take the partial or lower. I don't believe in the 20%.
Yeah, your hand like trembles as it's not a clean job, as you struggle a bit with it for several short yelps. The animals lie dead as you kind of have to. She didn't provide any like medical tools other than the knives. You literally have to fucking use your hands to scrape on the tile floors. as well, it's not a very not a good job. Like your hand trembles, you are not mentally quite well with this. Yeah, no roll. Be able to sort of reproduce the things you have in your head.
Give the normal reroll. Skill, I'll get to sign this specialization occult rituals later.
But yeah, you at least managed to reproduce them somewhat accurately, if imperfectly. As once the last symbol in a circle is done, you sort of feel like this almost like tingling sensation in the air. As what sort of location do you imagine yourself going toward?
Ooh, right now. He's thinking of a place where probably he doesn't know how influential these particular people are, but listen, he might be in the future be able to tell him like if they find him again. Listen, there was the demon like he's camping. He yanked my foot, but maybe potentially. I'd say probably so. Somewhere in downtown. Honestly, somewhere in downtown, probably.
Like the street?
Yeah, something like nowhere in particular, honestly. Maybe actually, fuck, I'm not sure what the famous train station actually is, and in fact, I think there's probably a famous train station in New York, NYC or something like like something to Union Station, right? Something like that, a public location in downtown. Let me go on Google Maps real quick to see if I can like name you something specific.
No, it's fine. Don't.
Yeah, but that's the intention. He'll try to spawn and also he isn't sure how accurate this is, but he doesn't want to spawn it out of nowhere in front of people. But luckily, I think it's late at night. But just in case, he will like go straight like somewhere nearby. He'll see how accurate this teleport will be. Oh, it's Penn Station, New York. Oh damn! Yeah, then just get Penn Station. Oh fuck! Union Station was Washington. I mixed them up. Yeah.
As you find yourself suddenly near you're not exactly there, but you recognize sort of the skyline of downtown. As you glance to your side, are in one of the side alleys. As you see this like fat rat just kind of like munching on some garbage.
New York subway rat, my beloved.
Yeah, no, you're out. You did in fact teleport. Your next move.
Remove the blood. I'm not sure how bloody his clothing is and whatnot.
Quite bloody. You had to kill a bunch of dogs. It's all over you. Then you scraped it on your hands to like fucking spray it on the floor.
I probably should have went to home. You know, it would have been smart if I would teleported home so I could clean myself. Fuck. I should have went home. I'm fucking idiot. I killed a rat. There's some more at it. I don't think the rat is fat enough to like, because I think the blood the ritual circle is like too big for rat blood, unironically. Even if I was agile enough to catch the rat, I think it would just run away from me. But no, I think I will. I'm not sure how well I can clean myself off the blood and then try to stealthily head home.
Clean yourself off the blood. You can dump your clothes and be naked and have your hands covered in blood, I guess, but it's quite cold outside as well.
Yeah. So it's not the most well thought out plan, but he'll try to stealthily get back home. He'll...
Give me
a second. Yeah, I should have teleported home. I'm a bit of a moron, but I'll give it a normal reroll.
As yeah, you start making your way home. As you do hear like several salves of fucking gunfire being shot off nearby, but able to maneuver yourself around that incident and avoid not getting caught in the middle. And will be making your way home.
Let's see, there he'll quickly switch clothes and wash.
Yeah. Do that. You manage to scrape everything off. Takes you about 30-40 minutes. As it's getting late into the night, early into the morning.
Sadly, Mr. Voice didn't exactly respond.
Respond to what?
No, that's not thinking where to go next, basically. So eventually... No, but I didn't respond. I mean, sadly, it's not too talkative because sadly, it said his energy bar is low, but listen, you might actually. I think the only ones here are Taylor or Adam, but Adam, you might do a. But Adam didn't see. It wasn't. You call Taylor maybe because I think he needs to know about the. Yeah. Maybe about the weird lab that his friend has. I think that's the best move for now.
Well, Taylor, I assume you still have been sleeping at Julia's place, pardon me.
Yes.
Well, your life has also somewhat kept you busy with recent events and things that the department haven't been easier, as had to deal with a lot of new recruits, because just problem is the captain did bring in a lot of new people. Unfortunately, they were all people who were either never entrusted with too much responsibility or like flat out and have too much experience. So it's been a bit of a hassle for you to get these new recruits up and running a bit more efficiently. As well, he didn't really joke. Your department has seen a sharp increase in sort of different minority groups that you're pretty sure the captain just kind of like coalesced from other departments and just kind of brought them all here. But other than that, the month kind of went about as expected. If you would have checked with your criminal contacts, the war seems to go in the favor of the Italians at the very least, although, well, it's been about as bloody as you expected, and the public is not really happy with it. But there's not much you can do right now, as you foresee this thing lasting probably another few months before the Russians are completely pushed back. But tonight, the phone kind of wakes you up, as the guest room is closer to the living room where it's located.
And Taylor will pick it up. Taylor speaking.
Mr. Reed, this is Mr. Bright.
Ian, what is it?
I wanted to talk with you about that contact you told me that would be able to assist with me with the more weird side of things.
What about them?
I'm not exactly sure if you know who you're working with. Let's just say their place rubbed me the wrong way, and perhaps maybe we could. And a superior was mentioned, and maybe you could speak to them that there was a secret underground laboratory where the plans involved feeding me drugs, and there were armed guards.
Taylor will just say, I'll talk with him, but given what I know, I consider it a gross dereliction of duty if they didn't have guards, Ian. Other people are willing to kill for this.
Of course, it's just I was a bit personally afraid for my safety. As I expected, but something else.
All right, where are you?
Right now, I'm at my own home.
All right. Now stay put, stay careful, and I'll go see if my contact's a busy man, but I'll see if I can't meet with him again.
So then, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taylor, you dressed. Your wife is still sleeping, so is. Not sure if you want to wake them up or just leave a note.
He'll leave a note. Yeah, he'll just leave a note that had to go meet with a work friend. Just leave it at that.
You'll head out, and I presume you're gonna go to the Belmont for this.
Yeah.
As you'll drive in the early hours of the morning, it's about 5 a.m. right now. Meanwhile, while he's doing that, Ian, anything else you'd like to do?
Right now, no. He's just
You'll be sitting in your apartment about 10 minutes pass, and you'll hear the voice again, much weaker this time. It's harder to hear it, as if it's more distant, I will say. Escaped from that place only to have your friend report their boss.
not exactly sure.
Far too trusting of these people. Think they operated. They think they acted without his knowledge.
Out of anyone in the department, I think we'll be the last to work with either a criminal organization or a shady science division.
But know that if that is the case, how come you ended up in such a place in the first place? How come every time you talked with this man, you seemingly got involved more and more unspeakable things? He is involved in everything.
Unless he's one of the best undercover agents, or truly just a pawn who does not know the even a slice of the story. These people, sadly, the life of Soul Serum does not afford me much great financial reserves. Unfortunately, the private sector pays better, so it's not like I can run away simply upstate, and even then, I think they'll be able to. I'd be much more suspicious if I were just to try to randomly run away.
Say your friend. Oh, he obviously doesn't know. Police officer. Why? What would he know about machinations of these people? There are other ways. You know now that you can run away without needing money.
Sadly, blood sacrifice is not my preferred thing, and in that situation, I was mostly scared, so I took the life of the animal.
You think the danger has passed? Think yourself now safe?
It is not, in fact. No, I'm well aware of that. But sadly, even if I were willing to sacrifice willy-nilly, I do not have the means or the available resources right now around me.
They'll give you animals, your shelters for free. The rest, you've done it before.
So you just suggest running away to a different city and hoping they don't go there, or to a village in Kansas?
Depends if you want to just keep running away or if you want to fight back.
Fight back, that's a bit of a mystery tamer first. Fight back against whom and what exactly? Just these people in general?
Oh, maybe preserve your own health might be a better way to put it. Show them that you can't just push you around.
I will admit, while I was afraid of that lady in that facility, I'm still not entirely sure of your motives either. Sadly, I cannot exactly read your face. I do trust that you do not want me to die immediately, but I want to speak with the detective, Mr. Reed, first. At least tell him, at least, about my thoughts.
You wish,
As you
but one mistake, what you're afforded. They won't be so nice the next time they can have you on supervision.
That is true. Sadly, and blood is sadly the only power source that's available. You said nothing else? Oh wait, probably there's something else, but nothing available to me right now.
You can always use your own blood. The situation gets dire. This ritual doesn't require as much as the last one.
I'll keep that in mind.
Have time wasted now by waiting. Suppose it is your decision.
At least I wanted to especially speak to Mr. Reed about this. Even if I do run away, I'm not sure how he will teach me to fight back, and besides the fact that I'm not a soldier, I do worry about becoming like the murderer that I investigated. I do want to avoid sacrificing people, or even, well, I suppose animals is probably better, but
Unless you wish to summon my being where you are, when sacrifices will not be required.
that's nice to hear. I mean, made sense since the animal blood worked perfectly fine.
Just hope I will be able to reach out to you soon. Still alive then. Is the plan to wait here for eventually show up?
Maybe not in my apartment, maybe outside, just in case they do come to visit and knock at the door, because eventually they'll probably go through like the list of where I could be, and
Yeah, we're outside.
somewhere a bit darker, shaded, not outside the door immediately, where I could still see Reed, but where I would be a bit more hidden.
Yeah, well, Reed, you arrive at the Belmont. Oh. not that many people going about, but the secretary will notice you and says, "Ah, Detective Reed, welcome. Here to see Mr. Wilson."
Need to meet with Alaric if at all possible.
Is this about situation with, or how to call him, a fugitive?
What do you mean?
Well, Sir Gray is not here, but I can wake up Mr. Wilson.
Yes, do that, please.
Just gonna like gesture for you to wait at one of the tables in the lounge, and as you kind of waiting there, eventually about like 30 minutes later, you'll see Wilson walking up, not like properly dressed, but kind of threw on a shirt and pants, and sits down with a fresh, freshly made coffee, and sort of passes you on. Ah, good morning, detective.
Good morning.
How can I help you?
I initially came here to see if I could speak with Alaric because, man, I mentioned to him as called me in a panic, and now I'm told that there is a fugitive situation. I think around the same man.
Yes, I believe he performed weird magic ritual and whisked himself away. Luckily, your friend is not, well, the most subtle individual. He went straight back home, so we have him under surveillance. Something wrong?
Now, given how mentioned he felt unsafe and some of the things that happened, I think it might be best if I go to talk with him. I think he might have listened to the wrong person. Person who might have fed into his paranoia.
I'd like to speak to the doctor. I'll admit, sort of operations are not my specialty. While I'm familiar with the more supernatural part of our lives, I still find it quite weird even after all these years.
Yeah, well, not. Yes, I'd like to know the full details before I go to speak with him.
As about 15 minutes later, you'll see this woman sit down at the table. She is indeed not like she looks a bit off to you as well, as she'll greet you with a polite smile and says, "Ah, you must be the good detective. My name is Fate. A pleasure to finally meet you."
It's a pleasure. I want to know the full details of what happened with my colleague, Mr. Bright.
Well, I informed him of the procedures that are about to unfold, and I believe he went in the observation room and shortly after requested a bunch of animals so that he can butcher them and perform some sort of ritual that would, and she does the air quotes, allow him to communicate better with the entity. Which obviously turned out to be a lie, because the moment he finished drawing the things, he vanished, only to appear shortly afterwards at his apartment, about less than an hour later.
Taylor will say, I think it's safe to assume when he made contact with the entity, so naturally anxious person from what I've worked with him. Paranoid, you could call it.
Yes. This is everything that's happening within expected parameters. I would have been shocked if he just simply went along with everything, given his reputation. I did ask a couple of questions about his background. Well, he's not really known to be the calm and collected type.
If I could ask, if you identified him as apartment, what is your next step with information?
Well, quite simple. Watch and observe. Mr. Reed, I am trying to ascertain this entity's goals. And, well, sometimes you need to go outside of the laboratory to do that.
Taylor will nod, and
I looked over the same symbols. I have, in fact, the same knowledge that Mr. Bright possesses regarding this, well, whatever they are, and yet no such being made contact with me. I was not offered anything, so I'm trying to understand why Mr. Bright was chosen, as these things clearly target individuals. They don't do it randomly. And I'm beginning to see a pattern. Now, the only question left unanswered is what its end goal is. And while not wanting to help the thing out, I don't want to impede it too much, lest it gets scared off and, well, breaks off all contact.
understand, and just my own curiosity, I understand that unknown studies is always a amount of risk. He was not going to be put into any undue harm more than the studies would entail.
Mr. Reed, I need to put him in stressful situations. Sometimes that stress can be emotional, mental. Sometimes it can be physical. This was never going to be a easy or pleasant process, but it is necessary, I assure you. I'm not doing it without considering the risks.
Can I roll a detect on that?
Yeah.
Let's see, detect, focus, roll dice. Let's do a reroll.
Yeah, listen. She's not lying, but it is the sense that, listen, we're trying to like figure this fucking weird bizarre entity. Like, yeah, we're gonna like mess him up. There's no other way to do it. Like she's not doing this because she's like callous. But at the same time, if this is what it takes, she doesn't see a problem with it.
And once and if and when the studies move beyond the necessity of these first steps, he'll receive proper help to assist him.
I don't see why not.
Taylor will nod at that, and it's very obvious Taylor does not like what he's about to say next, but he's going to say, he did call me and I told him I'd come to the Belmont to speak with my contact about this.
She'll
Anything you wish.
She'll smile a bit, like nod, and says, "We are well aware. Like I said, this is quite within expected parameters. Do not worry, detective. My only question is, I don't think you want to be this involved with the study. So,
You are correct. I am. I'm a partner with partner on a different project that I would prefer to include the supernatural as little as possible. It's not my field of expertise.
I believe if you show yourself to have been compromised, I doubt he will call you ever again." So if you were to show up where he's waiting for you and hand him over to my men, I believe that trust bond will be broken, and I don't think he will bother you ever again. Right now, if I give the order and they try and get him, he might try to reach out even more directly to you. Even he himself told me he doesn't really have that many friends or families. Not that many people he can rely on.
Taylor will nod at that. He'll say, "I'll be stopping by his apartment soon."
She'll nod. I have a few men nearby. They'll be close when you give the signal.
Taylor will nod and he'll stand up.
She'll smile, stand up as well, and for your cooperation, I wish you good day. She'll take her leave, and Wilson just kind of shakes his head a bit, like, "Sorry, got dragged into this. He's not the biggest people person."
Taylor will nod. I met a lot of people like her during the war. She's big picture person.
Well, unfortunately, this is the best we've got. Our expertise with these sort of anomalies is, well, one of a kind at this point. Take care, detective, and do let me know if any other problems arise.
Taylor will give a nod and say, "Hope you have a good morning, Mr. Wilson."
You'll take your leave and you'll drive over to the apartment as well, Ian, you're able to see Taylor get out of his car in front of you, building block.
Yes, Ian will come from around the corner to approach the car.
Ian,
Mr. Reed.
spoke with my contacts.
When was the... Did they drop the matter or no? I doubt they simply want to let me go.
Well, they would like to keep the tests ongoing. I told them that they'd have to make some accommodations for you to soothe your fears. If you truly want to step away, I could speak on your behalf and get you better accommodations. If you truly want, I can tell my contact that if he doesn't drop you out of this, then, well, I will break with him and I'll take a sizable connection he needs in the city along with me.
I'm not exactly sure which voice to trust, whether these people or the voice in my head. I do at least trust the voice in my head doesn't want to immediately die, but do be careful with whoever you're working with. I doubt they're telling you the full picture. And
They will not. I don't think any of us ever quite have the full picture. And listen, as Taylor sort of gesture for you to like walk towards the car with him. As Taylor will give the signal.
Yeah. You will see from a nearby car there's like two men that exit as they approach you. As you can realize these people have been outside your apartment the entire time. And they are coming towards you. As the voice in your head again, very faintly, will say, "He's lying to you. Last check."
this is the kind of thing of second as a exactly. I don't have time right now, but maybe I cannot draw the circle in time if I wanted to escape now.
Must wait. Opportunity will show itself soon. As the two men will purchase
Ian will just raise his hands. By the way, he will not even try to run away. He knows he's not a soldier. Hold on, I will not resist. I will not try to run it. No, running is pointless.
They're not tackling you, so it's
I thought that's what he was expecting. He'll still say that. Honestly, that's what he was expecting, honestly.
like they can see you're not running, so
Ah.
they'll kind of give you a nod and have a good morning, detective, as they'll kind of take you to their car.
Yeah. Taylor will get in his car and he'll drive. He's not going back home. He's going to. He's going to somewhere like a waterfront somewhere.
As Ian will kind of place you in the back of the car as they'll get in the front. One's like driving, one's in the back with you. Start driving, and one of them will kind of chuckle, being like, "It's a nice escape attempt there, buddy."
So I just want to speak of Detective. Perhaps there would have been a possibility to work this out, but seemingly I was mistaken. Perhaps I trust Mr. Reed a bit too much. Evidently.
Work on. Want like a softer pillow, princess?
A man can have his dreams.
Don't worry, he'll have plenty of time to do all that dreaming.
As yeah, this, but there's not much conversation. Seeing as listen.
Yeah, they'll make a couple more jokes at and remarks, kind of pointing out that they kind of knew you were gonna go home. They expected that was one of the places they were actually expecting you to go. I don't know, we'll say, and they don't think you would actually be this stupid to go there, but guess you can't be good at everything, right? Like slaps you on the shoulder.
My skills are fairly squarely centered around the field of sciences and forensics. Beyond that, I'm a specialist, not an agent exactly.
Yeah, you have to be fucking super spy to not go back on. Listen, I'm not complaining. Or at least you're making my life easier.
As I said, a bit more faith that perhaps you people are a bit more, or at least more well-intentioned.
Listen, man, if you want to have faith, you should go to church. This is the wrong place. That's kind of crap.
I certainly see that now.
Yeah, the sort of haunting is gonna continue for the next bit of the road, as they'll sort of stop at the gas station. The one kind of in the back with you is gonna get out to make a refill. The voice telling you the opportunity is now. Use
I
your
mean, the other
knife
guys.
and slit this man's throat in front of you.
As will you empower me in any way? Because I'm not sure if I can. I'll try my best. Though. As he'll try to do his best sneak routine. Sadly, he's not exactly an agent.
Give me a stealth roll. It's only like a basic difference. Kinda easy to stab someone from that position.
Yeah.
Well, look at that. As you'll fish out the knife from your backpack quickly. As the other guy will go back. Well, you're not fighting. You are in fact stealthily, stealthily cutting someone's neck. As you wait for the guy outside to go inside the gas station to actually pay for fuel, you grab in one swift motion the guy in front of you as you drag the knife across his throat. As blood starts to spill and ooze, as he struggles for a couple of seconds before going limp.
Yeah, he'll quickly remember the ritual quickly, yeah. As he'll draw the dark circle on the fucking I'm not sure how big it is. If we can draw it in the car, we need to go outside of the corpse.
I'm gonna say it's like a meter in radius. Quite big.
Okay, okay, I thought I could draw it in the fucking car backseat.
So the easiest way would just be to fucking dump the body and drive the car away.
Alright then, yeah. It's time to drive, baby.
Yeah, as you'll quickly exit, pop open the door as you like dump the body to the side. You get in as you speed away as you're shouting, and then a couple of rounds of gunfire behind you as one just kind of goes through the back window but doesn't hit you in any way. As you are able to safely drive away. Where would you be going now?
Ah, fuck. God damn it. Is there any need to think. The car will not last infinitely. They will easily track it eventually, but for now, we're away. Definitely a few streets away. Definitely just basically drive around what he's thinking and look maybe in the car. If there's some cash inside, maybe in the fucking, I'm not sure what it's called, the car
the glove compartment.
The glove compartment, yeah.
Pop it open. There's a revolver in there and about $50.
As for now, I think it's animal shelter time, as he suggested, maybe. Either that or the station, but Robert, I think in Europe you say I'll now grab the train, but sadly trains are non-existent, so I cannot conveniently drive away in a train to a different city.
You can just drive our car.
That's true. You for now drive with the car, yeah.
Are you driving out the city?
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
As well, listen, they did just refuel it, so you have plenty of gas to go. As listen, Ross, don't. They have trains in the US, Mac.
I know they know, but I don't know how common they were. In my city, there's one every 10 minutes.
Yeah, but this is
I'm not trying to be pedantic.
Yeah, it's for now, yeah.
This
Stuff he'd know in character.
Yes, I was gonna say, it's New York, Mac. Most major cities would have trains. It's just that I don't think they have trains between small towns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So are you gonna drive the train, or are you gonna drive out the car from this?
for now, with the car out of the city.
Taylor, you said you were gonna drive to a nearby waterfront.
Yeah, he is going to just start smoking through his smoking through a pack of cigarettes. He's not he doesn't feel very good about what he just did.
Is your kind of hanging there? Well, you see kind of like the sun rising, horizon. Faint traces of light begin to illuminate the area around you. Sounds of cars in the distance as people are resuming their morning routines. Your radio is actually gonna blurb up.
Yes, Taylor will respond.
Well,
Officer, it's
they there's been a is that they would probably just call for any nearby units. There's been like a murder about, you think, like 20-minute drive.
yeah. Reed will finish up and get in his car and drive.
Yeah, you'll arrive there. It's like a single police car with like 2 beat cops there. Like one of them is inside, sort of taking statements from the gas station clerk. The other one is outside. As yeah, you just see this. There's like a body just kind of on the ground, its throat slashed. Like blood is everywhere, but not as much as you would expect. As the officer will say, detective?
Yeah, off. What's the situation?
Apparently, 3 people stopped here to and refill the tank, and apparently while one was inside, I guess the other guy stabbed this or like cut his throat car and sped away. The clerk called it in. Apparently, whoever got left behind wasn't too happy, shot a couple of rounds and then left.
Taylor will give a nod.
As yeah, he'll also kind of give you the description of the car. It doesn't take too much to realize, Taylor, that is a very familiar description to the car you saw the 2 men walk out of when they came to pick up Ian. As now, if you take a closer look at the body after talking to the beat cop, you do just realize that, yeah, this is in fact one of those guys. With a bit of a horrified expression as he died.
Taylor's gonna look at it for a bit. I'll turn around and get to work. It's just another death that's gonna have to mean something at the end of the day.
Yeah. But this does mean that Ian has escalated fucking drastically. As about 30 minutes later, there'll be another sort of crew here to take some photos and start to like bag the body eventually. While this is technically not your jurisdiction, they're not like denying your help right now.
Yeah, like Taylor will be there to help. Like he probably won't stay around very long because this doesn't seem like the type of killing where, to be honest, detective work's going to be much help.
Not really. But you can help them coordinate things a bit better so the you will notice that all these beat cops are distinct rookies.
Nah, Taylor will kind of stick around, take charge a bit.
After that, I'm not sure if you want to go somewhere, do something specifically.
I think he'll head into the office.
As morning arrives for you as well, Father James. It's been quite busy month, as with the clinic sort of off to the side. Well, the clinic documents are of course fake. The practice is in fact not, as there'll be plenty of people who, once you sort of show that they can trust this man and you vouch for him, will begin showing up with more or less severe cases, anywhere from minor infections to well, you will have like actually 3 people who were caught in like shootings. But this morning, as you're going through your routine, Adam is gonna actually approach you. A bit of a worried look on his face.
Good morning, Adam. What's wrong?
It's just I am a bit concerned with the latest shootings. We're getting a lot of attention, and I think it will only increase with the amount of patients I'm treating. Yesterday, somebody was quite, well, confused about my accent, and he's not the only one. I've had more subtle remarks in the past as well.
People are concerned about your people are worried you might be a Eastern Bloc spy, or
I'm not exactly sure, but that's not what worries me. What worries me is that concerned people talk. And the more people talk about this place, the more public it will be. Once the news catches wind of this, well, I think it'll be a bit more difficult to operate underneath the radar. Tell me, what would happen if I do operate free of charge in the laws of your country here?
well, there's I don't know. There's certainly the financial consideration of the equipment and supplies you need.
Well, luckily, Alaric was quite generous with that. I'm not concerned about that aspect. I am more concerned about, well, I can't really justify it into the public eyes without drawing even more attention to mysterious donors and such. And, well, in my country, it would have been simple to claim that I work for the state, but here things may be a bit more complicated, as your government is at the same time more open and also more complex.
This isn't the first free clinic in New York City.
Question is, do they all perform surgeries of this caliber?
Yes, you are a rather more capable free clinician than most of them are. I don't think, out of character, I don't know. So if you think I'm bullshitting him, tell me.
Let me do like a quick Google search.
Yeah, I'm doing that too.
Free clinics, I don't like. There's emergency rooms, but those aren't the same thing as those are actual hospitals.
Someone doing actual trauma surgery.
Yeah, that's my issue.
Yeah, I think there's not going to be any legal problems as long as he's an actual licensed doctor.
Which you know he isn't.
That is a problem.
Because his license doesn't apply in the US, unfortunately for you. And his like, you know for a fact that all his like US based documents are in fact full, which might not stand up to like scrutiny if somebody were to like look deep into this.
I'm looking up the what it takes to become licensed in the US.
Requires a legal residency and visa, at least.
Yeah, and
I don't think he has.
a residency program in the US or Canada for at least 3 years.
Technically, yeah, it is possible.
How long has he been in the country?
Probably a few months at this point.
Let me call. Let me call Reed. I want to see if he knows any doctors of negotiable ethics. And we can say that you're completing your residency for certification under this doctor.
Gonna sort of nod and thank you. Aid.
If this doesn't work out, I will reach out to more traditional programs, and
I'm gonna remind you in case you've forgotten. You do have the infinite money glitch. It's like Alaric's number to Alaric's bank.
yeah, but I'm not sure that money's going to help if I need. I mean, I guess I could get an actual doctor in here.
Yeah, I was gonna say technically, like
Okay.
it's not just money, but it's like assets that can be used for non-violent things. That was what was communicated to you. But yeah, no,
Okay.
that you could also
Let
use it
me-
to bribe people.
Let me bring in a doctor on an actual payroll, and we'll say that you're doing residency under him.
He'll not.
And I'm going to start making phone calls to try to find
Yeah,
probably a trauma surgeon.
yeah. As yeah, you make a request for a doctor that has like actual papers here. And is because the big issue is the stigma he has to overcome, which is like a lot of people who come here will remark on like, oh, this is one of those Russians. Like, well, I'm not a Russian actually. No, you kind of sound Russian to me. So there's a lot of stigma on that he would also have to deal if he had to actually enroll and take exams. So you do need someone who's a bit more open-minded to these sort of problems. As the woman on the phone will say that they will do their best to get in someone with the actual papers needed.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. You will actually get a call back informing you that there's a doctor that she'll stop by in the late afternoon.
I thank them for their assistance. And let Adam know that this doctor is coming. I assume that's the sort of thing that he
Yeah.
should be here for.
Yeah, well, luckily, due to all his recent cases, he is not really left, because the clinic is literally next to the church. So he is more or less kind of always around nowadays. But yeah, he'll definitely be here. Not sure if there's anything else you would like to do until the doctor shows up.
Am I generally aware of the way the war is going? And yeah, am I generally aware of the way the war is going?
Unless you would have specifically asked Taylor and he would have told you. It's only kind of what you've been able to glean from the news. You know for a fact that they have been keeping their word. That they haven't hit any of the places you listed. They have been respecting that, so that's a good sign at the very least.
Have any of the people we've treated been either soldiers or more aware of what's going on?
No. Most people that come, especially like the 3 cases you've had, they were just kind of civilians caught in the crossfire. It is a interesting thing that you were expecting maybe a bit more bloodshed, and while there's plenty of bloodshed on the streets, you know, how close would you have like kept with the news?
Pretty close, because what I'm asking is, I'm looking for the once one side seems to be ascendant, I'm hoping to ask subtle questions about what it would take to get both sides to the table, because I want the fighting to end.
Yeah, no, it's too early for that yet.
Okay.
But like I said, good news is there's less civilians than you would have expected. Probably partially because a lot of the more civilian areas have been kept out of the fighting. Weirdly enough, there's been a lot of more tragic accidents. In fact, a lot of fucking police officers have died in recent shootings and drive-bys and stuff like that.
I am going to reach out to Taylor about that, to express my condolences.
Well, Taylor, you would know that that is part of the plan to target the worst of the worst, to just kind of get them out in the easiest way possible. So most of the people that get like killed in these so-called accidents, sometimes you're not even sure if it's an accident or if they just like fucking went there specifically to kill the fucking cop and then just kind of left and pretended they were having a firefight there.
I'm sorry about that asshole's necessary death is a weird way to accept condolences, Detective.
Listen, Taylor would say yes. It's always a shame when a member of the force dies in line of duty.
Like, I'll be honest, there's well, like the reputable news outlets wouldn't fucking print such garbage. There's definitely like more like tabloid newspapers that are very alarmist about like that they're claiming that this is a conspiracy to like attack the police force of New York, and the fact that this is not in fact a gang war, this is an excuse to target civil servants and government officials, and this is in fact organized criminal effort to gun down the hard-working cops and officials of New York.
That definitely sounds like the New York Post.
Well, damn, never mind. I guess the big newspapers are printing this. Never mind.
Yeah, the New York Post is like one of the fucking like it's a broadsheet that does a lot of fake news grunt.
But yeah,
I mean, it's one of two newspapers in New York that matter, and it's the one that it's always been a rag.
I feel like though the things like New York Times might not post that.
Oh. No, absolutely not.
The Times are more respectable, unlike the Post.
But yeah, that's definitely like I said, the tabloids do be posting conspiracy theories, while the more respectable ones sort of are a bit more clinical about the situation and sort of trying to like actually I don't want to say like put a positive fucking spin, but definitely like try to calm people in the sense that uh, they're kind of like listing certain areas to avoid, certain times and places to not go in certain neighborhoods, as there does seem to be a rhythmic pattern to some of these fights, which does help people avoid most of the actual intensive firefight. So it's a very weird sort of gang war because it seems like everyone is abiding by at least some form of conduct to minimize civilian casualties, and also so they can like kill each other.
So yeah, I am keeping my ear out for pretty much any excuse to start peace negotiations. But I'm also aware that as much as I might want it to happen, it's not going to happen quickly or easily.
Yeah. As well, Taylor, is there anything you want to do in the first part of the day as you get to the office?
Honestly, at this point, he'll go over reports. He'll go over reports. He'll go over with the new guys if there's anything he can do to take his mind off of stuff right now.
Yeah, as it's about like 10 in the morning when you'll get called into the captain's office. As you walk in and Captain Smith bid you good morning and gesture for you to take a seat. Well, you look like you've had a bit of a rough night. Everything okay?
As Taylor will say, woke up in the middle of the night and couldn't go back to sleep.
Well, I may have a cure for your restlessness. Probably not, but I'm trying to find a positive spin. We're bringing in I mean, you saw the new people, but need a couple more well, I wouldn't call him experienced, I would call him competent. Knows what he's doing, and well, I'm assigning you a new partner to work with.
All right.
And well, I wanted to give you a bit of a warning ahead. Maybe, well, rough around the edges is a nice way to put it, I guess.
This Taylor will just ask, what's his unique idiosyncrasies then?
Well, he's about as much of a loose cannon as you can be without actually getting fucking fired. He has no real regards for proper procedures or rules. You know how most people use the system to fill their pockets and sort of, well, pay no mind to the things happening around him. Well, this guy apparently has gotten into trouble with 3 previous captains, as he's been tossed around different precincts, for in fact using extortion to make headway on cases. And when I say extortion, I don't mean just with his criminals. I believe his previous captain was in fact blackmailed by him for a few months.
All right.
I am putting him with you because, well, I'm still trying to get the most competent people around, and, well, I'll be honest, Taylor, that's a short list right now. I think a lot of the force needs probably another couple of years. That all these rookies that have been stood aside or neglected get a chance to actually learn properly and how to conduct themselves under more stressful situations. And with the, well, gang war intensifying, I'm afraid I'll need Briggs to keep morale high up wherever possible. I'm gonna need you to tackle any more messy crimes that are unrelated to all of this. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, we have pissed off a lot of people by, I think, our mere existence.
I'd imagine that.
So, I'm not saying I expect foul play, but at the very least, well, we will be held up to a unreasonable standard compared to everyone else. And, well, I think you need a competent partner for that. Also, I think if you can get this guy to pull it off, he might be invaluable in the future.
I'll give it my best shot.
He'll kind of nod. As he'll pick up the phone, I'll say, send Mr. Wade to my office. As a couple of minutes later, see this man walk in. On the younger side, probably late 20s. Walks in with a bit of a nonchalant attitude. Well, what you would call a loose-fitting shirt. Sit down and say, morning, officers. He looks at you, Taylor. Say, you're my new partner, aren't you? My name is Andrew.
Taylor.
As he's gonna shake your hand strongly. Say, I think we'll get along just fine. You know, I heard a couple of funny rumors about you.
People talk a lot.
Sure do, they sure do. Good morning to you, Captain. As he does like a over-exaggerated salute. The Captain will kind of like nod and say, well, Mr. Wade, Detective Reed will show you the ropes around here, and you are, well, to behave this time. I don't think there will be a 4th precinct after this. rather a fifth precinct after this that will take you in. And kind of shrugs and says, "Ah, well, with all the cops dying, I don't think they'll be able to even say no to me." As Smith just kind of rolls his eyes and says, "Well, you're both dismissed for now. I'm sure you can get acquainted over a cup of coffee." As Wade will stand up and say, "Well, ladies first," as he like opens the door for you.
As Taylor will walk through.
So, detective, as he like, you go to like the kitchen area to grab that mug. Is it true what they say about your precinct here?
If you're wondering who recently got cleared out, yes.
Well,
If you're wondering why, you're going to have to be a bit more specific.
oh no. Listen, I enjoy. Listen, I never understood why they wouldn't want to hire more women. Personally, I enjoy staring at women all day rather than men. But I think Captain Jones might have had other preferences. But that is in the past. Hope he's doing fine, by the way. This is a dangerous time to be a police officer in New York.
Yeah, Taylor will just nod. Always dangerous, but it's especially dangerous time right now.
But from my understanding, you're about as straight as they come. In fact, I assume that's why you're so relaxed about things. Gestures around the precinct. People seem to have their bearings around. Nothing to worry about.
As Taylor will just say, comes with being on the force as long as I do. I've seen dangerous times before. They come and they go.
Yeah. Well, no. It's I'm sure it'll be fine. You and me. You know that sensation where you like go to a new precinct and nothing beats it. Although I don't think your captain likes me too much, but I think I'll grow on him.
That's the hope.
So, don't mind me asking, level with me, detective. From where I stand, the fact that things have been so nice around here, there's two possibilities. One, those conspiracy nutjobs in the papers are right, and they're killing all the cops they don't like. Two, someone here, most likely the captain, has enough sway with the mob and everyone else, the Russians and Italians, whoever else is blowing their brains out there, to not have this place hit as hard. Which one do you think it's more likely?
Stale will say. New captain's too straight-laced. I don't think he'd have anything to do with that.
kind of like smirks a bit at you. Lets out a soft chuckle and will say, "Come on, you really believe that? Straight-laced? This guy?"
It would be quite a daring thing to engage in corruption when your predecessor was removed unofficially as a part of a corruption scandal.
Suppose that's true, but who exactly removed Mr. Jones? I mean, remind me, detective. If it was the feds that stepped in.
It was.
And it seems, I heard weird things about Captain here. Mr. Smith seems to have had a rather exceptional career. One could almost say he was uplifted.
Not been the first time a captain's been groomed for a certain position.
Be an interesting thing if the FBI arrested one captain just to put in another one that's favorable to them.
That would be a hell of a thing.
I say this is how my mind works, detective. I'm very paranoid about things, and I do like to make as many connections as possible. But you think it's all smoke and mirrors, then I suppose I won't bother further.
You don't have to lie to me. Only thing I can tell you is I don't put much stock into rumors, but if you want to dig, dig.
Well, you say that, but I'll be honest, your last partner didn't end up that well, did she?
Got caught up in a copycat of a previous killer.
Yeah, it was a rather messy crime. Managed to get one picture shown to me, and that was enough for my stomach. So it is, well, probably nothing. Never mind. My mind's wandering again, you see.
Yeah, if you have a theory, speak it.
Well,
Thoughts will drive you insane if you hold them in.
see, it could be a copycat killing, as of course say, but I wanted to kill someone and make it look like somebody else did it. I think a recently caught serial killer with such a high profile would make a very convenient target. And I do remember some people shifting some documents around about her. I wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you, Mr. Reed?
I advise everyone who comes into the force to stay out of the corruption, but a lot of people don't listen to me.
Suppose that people who don't listen to you end up dead.
It's a risk everyone takes when they become a cop. It's a risk everyone takes when they engage in certain games.
True, that's true. So it is you must have been blessed with good fortune to have been able to make it to this, well, quite a respectable age and experience, having dealt with so many crime lords and wannabe mobsters without, well, pissing anyone off enough for them to, well, the bullet in the back of your head.
Taylor will say, I can show you the scars. And as well, I've told I don't take bribes, but sometimes you gotta know when to walk away.
Fortunately, I'm still unclear on how to do that myself.
Taylor will nod. She'll say, so I actually ask, since we're asking questions. Oh, extortion. Blackmail. What's all that about?
Well, it's the easiest way to get people to do what you want, or to, well, in some cases, not do what they want, which is demote me, fire me, charge me with some bullshit or another, or simply kill me. Have enough dirt on people, you can kind of get them to do what you want.
Suppose that's fair enough.
Cops in the city, they were able to get away with so much so long that they've become quite lazy. So quite easy to find dirt. Not everyone is as well, clean as you or the captain here. At least that I know of it. Which means you either are clean, as you say, or you've done a good job at hiding it. In case, well, kudos to you, my friend.
I guess I just have to figure out which.
See if I survive the, well, current ongoing war. A lot of officers do seem to just end up dead.
Taylor will just give a nod at that.
He's gonna take his leave to like sit down at his desk and like get his papers in order. If there's nothing else you want to talk with him about.
Yeah, not at the moment.
Anything you want to do the rest of the day?
Suppose for the rest of the day, go over active files, kind of look around that, actually show the Mr. Wade the various people he'll be interacting with as a part of his job as a detective at this precinct.
Yeah, he definitely has the same rude attitude with everyone. But it comes from less of a forceful nature, just seems like a someone who doesn't take things very seriously.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, James, if you're gonna turn in at the precinct, probably.
I don't know that I have any business there.
Not at the moment. Plus, you don't know exactly. You weren't given a specific hour at which your doctor will arrive.
Yeah, I'm staying in house until that happens.
Like Taylor will tell him about like the civilian consultant they have, a priest, but
Yeah, Wilton Wade will be like, "Oh, that's right. That was a. How was that? Did you work with him? Go around saying prayers for the dead? Like, what does he do?"
on a personal level, he was a cooperative individual during the original soul killer case. After that, he was well, Captain was looking for somebody to improve the reputation of the precinct, and well, happened to offer be made to him.
Smart. Will always trust the priest. What's your opinion on him?
He's a good man. He's very naive.
Believe that comes with the job. If priests become paranoid, Taylor, I think the world might be ending.
Oh. To begin working directly with the NYPD. It's a certain you work directly with the NYPD, you bring on a certain amount of attention to yourself. You could do with a bit more guard, in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe we'll request his services on the next case we get. That's a big barrier I've had to deal with people not trusting because all cops they interact with tend to, be assholes. It'll make the process easier. Keep in mind.
No, that's something he's been good at. Had witnesses in the past that probably would have said nothing to me, but he was able to get the truth out of them.
Good. No. For you, James, eventually the afternoon would come about like 5 p.m. as you will definitely like notice her walk in. Her unusual appearance does strike you as a bit odd. As she
Do I
walks.
have, do I have a name for her, or
You weren't given anything.
and do I know that the doctor coming is a woman?
I don't think you were told even that.
Okay.
But she will walk
Hello.
up. Yeah, she'll walk up to him with a smile and say, "Hello, you must be Father Carver."
Yes, hello, miss.
Faith.
Can I help you? Hello, Faith.
Well, I think I can help you. I believe you requested the services of a open-minded doctor with, well, believable credentials.
Yes. Let me introduce you to the man who's been running our free clinic. I'm going to take her to meet
She,
Adam.
she'll chuckle a bit, says, I am well aware of Mr. Kovac's business here. But you might find his displeasure to work with me, though, to be more apprehensive.
You have previous dealings with him?
Only in passing. He, well, let's just say that, well, his opinions on Alaric may be more forceful. His opinions on me are 10 times as bad.
Well, we don't need much other than paperwork.
Mr. Kovac seems a principled man, but if you can persuade him, I have no issue. I would gladly take him underneath my tutelage. After all, we do want to do this legitimately.
So would you like to meet him? Again?
Yes, but before I help you with that, I also have a slight favor to ask of you.
Oh?
You had previous interactions with, well, Mr. Sean, the killer in the Soul Killer case a few months ago.
Yes. He came into my church a couple of times. She said Alaric's name, right?
Yeah.
I thought so.
I
He believed that an angel was speaking to him. He believed that the angel was giving him names of people to kill.
Absolutely. I have interviewed Sean myself as well. Unfortunately, it seems that whatever Mr. Kovac did, that entity is no longer able to reach out to him. That unfortunately is a dead avenue.
I don't know that I would describe that as unfortunate. I hope that the poor man can find peace.
Well, how? I know you're a priest, so your line of work may be a bit different than mine, but how do you think deal with such beings? Believe, like Mr. Kovac, that you can, well, stop them at an individual level and hope for the best? Go in blind in situation when you don't understand what they want, how they work, how to even combat them?
Someone like Sean is a victim. I don't believe he's completely innocent because he did commit murder, but I also don't believe that he would have committed murder without whichever being reached out to him influencing him in that direction.
I agree. So my question still stands. Do you not think it best to understand these beings so that we can deal with them in the future, instead of waiting for a tragedy to strike and then just reacting?
I don't know, but I think that if the being hadn't reached out to Sean, do you think she would have reached out to someone else?
Absolutely.
So you think that these deaths were inevitable?
No, I think they're quite preventable, but not without proper information.
I don't know that I have an easy answer.
There's something you could lie. Like I said, Mr. Kovach's apprehension towards me, while I suppose sympathetic, it's not really pragmatic. His exposure to these things would prove an invaluable well of knowledge. Fortunately, he has been very categorically against working with me or anything. So, if maybe you could persuade him. Imagine how many more lives could be prevented. Did you know somebody else died last night because of one of these things?
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes, I believe you're acquainted with Mr. Bright.
I've met him a couple of times.
So, one of these creatures reached out to him, speaking words, and well, we finally finished the necessary preparations to study it. Brought him into examination, and last night he demanded a couple of animals so that he can slaughter them. Painted a bunch of symbols onto the ground, and then I believe vanished and reappeared somewhere in New York. Made his way back home, frenzied desperation, called Detective Reed before the detective made the wise choice to let us get him so we can bring him back. On the way back, he did slit one of my men's throats and ran away with the car. Now, record shows Mr. Bright has never committed even misdemeanors or any acts of violence. This escalated in a single night, which proves to me, Father, that these creatures, they don't want us to know. Knowledge is in fact the greatest tool we can have. They don't want us to know, because once we do, we know how to fight them, how to deal with them, how to push back. And I'm afraid of what Mr. Bright might do now that he has left the premises of the city. And who knows how many people he might endanger or even kill.
I'm sorry about your friend.
This line of duty, everyone knows the risks.
Nevertheless, I would imagine that spending one's life this close to the constant risk of death can be corrosive to one's soul.
Well, I believe in personal accountability. You can understand my frustration with Mr. Kovac's hesitance and sometimes flat out denial cooperating. I wouldn't be so desperate for Mr. Bright if Mr. Kovac would submit to more examinations and be more upfront with what he knows.
And why has he refused you?
I believe it is a question of ethics. Called me a psychotic bitch, but that was during a heated argument, so I don't hold that against him.
He has done a great deal of good here
I
in the last few months.
I understand that, but let's see, how many people has he saved? 50? 100? Maybe more? Question you should ask yourself is, the first incident with one of these creatures happened last year. Since then, there have been 3, 4. This is the 4th case. It seems to be escalating, and well, you saw what the killer did. I think there will be more people like that in the future if we don't get ahead of the curve. Mr. Kovac's insistence that he's just a doctor and be left alone, I view it as selfishness.
I'll speak with him, but I'm going to be getting his opinion as well.
Here are my contact information. I am more than willing to help him out with his legal procedures as well, if of course he cooperates. There's well, I also have many things I need to do as well, so this takes time from my activities, and it will be sort of unfair if I'm being open-minded and cooperative while he is being stubborn and, well, abrasive.
Thank you for your time, Doctor.
Likewise. Have a good day, Father.
I'm going to go speak with Adam.
Yeah, you'll venture into the side building as he's just done like sort of administering some like some pills to someone who came in the kind of like bad case of the flu. As he kind of like bids them good day and sees you walking through the back, he'll say, "Oh, good day, Father."
The doctor who was going to help with your licensure issues arrived. It seems that you and she have previous associations.
He's gonna grimace a bit. God damn it.
I think she said that you called her a heartless bitch. When I say that, when I say the word bitch, I cross myself.
You know, I believe she tortured people at one point.
God forgive me, but it didn't seem like an inaccurate descriptor.
Yes, I've had the displeasure of talking with her. She is by far the worst person within the Larix circle.
She believes that you can contribute to her field of study.
Once again, yes, she wanted to put me in a lab and poke and prod and ask questions. I said no.
And I assume your answer will not have changed.
But unless her ethics have, which I highly doubt it. Calling herself a doctor is an insult to all medical professionals, Father.
That does leave us in the somewhat inconvenient position of you still needing someone to support your residency, no questions asked.
Well, then I suppose I'll just have to stay like this and keep my head down.
I'll reach out to Taylor and see if he knows any mob doctors who can help us with this.
He nods. Thank you, Father. I appreciate you understanding this.
I don't think this is the last we've seen of her.
No, she is quite stubborn.
I intend to offer you whatever protection I can. But if it comes to physical violence, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Just have to wait and see.
Okay, I'm gonna call Taylor.
Sadly, you'll have to call him on his work phone. But I think Taylor, you could find a moment to excuse yourself to actually go to a nearby payphone. Actually, talk from your work phone.
Yeah.
Hello, detective.
James, how have you been doing? How have you been holding up?
Well, we're very busy, but that's the worst complaint I have. So, things could be much worse. Do you have time to stop by the church? I want to ask you some questions about topics you may be more knowledgeable about than I.
Could stop by.
Somewhat informally, I think.
Taylor, just say, I'll be over.
Then make your way to meet with him.
As go to the church. James, what is it you wanted to talk about?
You're aware of the clinic we're running.
Yes, Adam has informed me.
Everything seems to be going very well, except that we've garnered some attention. Especially given Adam's country of origin.
I imagine his papers aren't actually in order. The only matter of time
They
before
don't.
it looks in.
They don't seem to be. And while I think they'd stand up to a cursory glance, I'm concerned about whether they'd stand up to more serious scrutiny. Also, the residency requirements for a foreign doctor may well become an issue.
You need somebody who's willing to do it without asking questions and is willing to, assumably, accept working here, which I imagine will not be profitable or good for their career.
Yes. I was hoping that you were aware of, well, someone who fit the bill. I was thinking a doctor with, shall we say, flexible ethics.
Normally, I could contact my wife's side of the family. There's two issues I have with that. One, recently had a new arrival in the precinct who's been asking some pointed questions. I'd rather, for now, keep that contact to a minimum. And secondly, if you bring in a mob doctor, Mr. Carver, the Russians may view that as no longer being neutral ground. They may view that you going to their enemies as them taking a side.
No, that's absolutely reasonable.
So, I'll say I could speak with people at the Belmont and see if we can't find somebody who is acceptable to both sides, but I understand that's going to narrow down the list quite a lot.
I did reach out to the resources Alaric left to me, and he sent a doctor who was absolutely unacceptable to Adam, and whose requirements were frankly unacceptable in general.
I have a feeling we both may have made a recent mutual acquaintance again.
You'd think that the city was large enough.
No, it's a very small world as it turns out.
Grunt, I have at least one contact with the Russians, right?
Yeah. Radmir is still technically around.
Yeah.
Physically present.
So I could reach out to the Russians and see if an Italian doctor would be acceptable.
Right.
Or if they have recommendations of a doctor who the Italians wouldn't object to.
I mean, technically not an ask always, right?
I'll talk to my people, but just make you be aware, James, the list will be narrow, might take longer, and you might have to work with people who have their own separate issues.
And agendas.
Yes, which is why I would a recommendation on a personal level is that talk with Adam about, and you as well also, find a way to work with Faith. You'll get you the results you want quicker, and it's the option that there's no option that will leave you, though. There's no option that you'll have where you won't compromise your morals on this, but take it from me, James. You start working with these people, you'll find yourselves working with them more and more. They are quicksand. I don't think I'll be able to extract myself from it even when the situation's over. I think I'll just have to consign myself to making do with the situation as it is.
Do you know anyone who could get us some better forgeries to buy time?
I can talk to some people, talk to the Belmont.
Problem for both of you is gonna be like, okay, how are you gonna pay these people? Because like this is so far out of the scope of any of your previous dealings that they're not just gonna give you a blank check.
I'm gonna be honest, Grunt. Taylor's whole thing is he's saying like, yeah, I'll go talk to them, but when I come back here and like tell you the answer
Yeah.
is no or it's out of your
Okay.
reach, what are we gonna do?
I'm pointing out this for the father as well, because like, yeah,
Yeah, no, that's
because if Alaric's like call for money, she's like, well, I have the doctor here, just take her. I'm not paying because I'm not paying for Adam's morals.
I'm not paying for something you already have.
Yeah, and the services you're requiring, like they're not gonna come cheap. And if you don't want to pay with money, they're probably gonna ask you to do other things you might equally dislike.
Ignoring the financial considerations, which are considerable, the practical considerations already seemed, if not insurmountable, extremely difficult.
Listen, I'm sure if you got a deal with the Russians, they would fork you the cash.
So, just spitballing here, detective. What if we got, I mean, this would assume that they are willing to agree to it. What if we got a doctor from each faction and also began treating the injuries that both sides are accruing under the table?
So even assuming they both agree to that, you'd have to then, you and Adam might be put in a situation where you have to balance it out. Would you help and win? Do you save table space for the Bratva, the mob? Even if civilians are coming in and they need your help. Because you know that if you don't have space for them when they need it, your deal might be over. I'm not saying don't. That's not an avenue to explore. I'm just asking, are you willing to make that call if it comes to it?
I don't know. I'm concerned that. So you are probably more aware of this than I am.
Also inform you.
It seems like the Russians are losing.
They're certainly not winning. I don't know the exact details. I don't keep up on the exact nature of it, but I know enough to know that there are in fact losing.
I've been reading newspapers that, well, good Lord, I feel like I'm having to go through the same sort of secrecy to read the New York Post that married men do when they want to read Playboy. My parents would quite probably disown me if they knew I was reading the Post. At any rate, I'm concerned that the Russians will escalate if they feel that that's the only option, and that the truce won't, or the treaty areas won't survive that, if they feel there's an upper hand to be gained.
That's always a risk, but 2 points to that. One, this isn't their home turf. They can always leave. No one's going to shoot their boats or their planes down the way out. That's something that the local criminal element can't lacks. And secondly, I think there'll be Mr. Wilson, has already expressed to me on a few occasions his preference for one side or the other. I can imagine if they break a truce, he staked his word on. I'm not sure what restrictions he, as proprietor of his session, has to abide by, but I can imagine they might be loosened if that happens. I think if it gets worse for them, I think they'll leave rather than risk losing it all.
What use is it to gain the whole world and yet forfeit your soul?
I'm asking myself that question a lot these days, Father.
I'll talk to Adam. He is singularly unenthusiastic. And I more than sympathize.
Taylor will just give a nod. He'll say, Faith, from the one conversation I've had with her, reminds me of some of the CEOs I had over in Europe during the war. Reminds me of most of their worst qualities. Fortunately, those were also the CEOs that won battles.
And got promotions.
Yes, they got promotions because they won the war. We don't be cautious around her, around with everyone. But at the end of the day, she's your most straightforward option. And I think you'll find that while the price she'll ask you, I can only imagine, is heavy on the surface, you'll find that the price that everyone else will extract from you is layered, and you only realize how much you've given them when the final accounting comes due. She at least asks for it up front.
One last option, which I suspect will not work, but I have to ask. The Russians would probably view an Italian doctor as a breach of the treaty. Would the Italians view a Russian doctor as such, given that they are ascendant?
I can only assume that they would view it with suspicion, given their ascendance, given their current upper hand. They may not react immediately and forcefully, but I imagine you'll get conversations about it. And I will say, you will have to find a Russian doctor who is willing to come here, who has residency or is a citizen.
Well, I just need a doctor the Russians or the Italians know and have subverted. I don't need one who's actually Russian or Italian.
A strong feeling that most of the doctors who aren't already on one side or the other are making a killing right now. And I think it'll be hard to dissuade them from their lucrative business.
Understandable. Well, if you could ask some questions to this effect. But I will talk to Adam about Faith again.
Talk to him about Faith. I'll bring up what you've asked, and if I can make headway, I'll let you know.
Thank you. I'm going to go recount my conversation to Adam.
Yeah. You'll sit him down and explain this to him. He, predictably,
I'm probably offering him a brandy.
yeah, predictably, he is not happy at partaking in the drink. So he'll kind of like look at you, pour him another glass. Father, I'm gonna ask you, what do you think I should do in this case? One hand, compromise my entire principles, become a lab rat, in the hopes that I will maybe help people in the future and I'll make my life easier regards to cooperating with these people. This is just like back home. They'll twist your arm until you either comply or it gets broken.
We can, of course, continue as we have been and do as much good as we can until something stops us.
That's why I'm asking you. What do you think I should do?
I don't trust her. I don't think you should trust her. I don't like her answers to the moral questions of possible evil in the face of present suffering.
Fortunately, it was never a matter of trust. I think
Well, and
it's
you know her better than I do, so
hardly.
my distrust for her is absolutely overwhelmed by your personal and professional disdain for her.
I disagree with their whole ends justify the means approach. And she is one of its biggest supporters amongst Larik's group.
Then I think my answer is to say damn them and let the chips fall where they may. We continue doing what we've been doing, and until we can't anymore. We maintain our neutrality and extend that neutrality to include Alaric's organization.
Still not. Goes see how long we can keep charade up.
Do we have a nursing staff of any sort?
No.
I'll see if I can't recruit some volunteers to support the clinic and maybe keep things running if the worst happens.
Thank you for everything.